Hello, my dear students. Welcome to English for Primary 5. Today, we are going to read some stories, enjoy them with Unit 1, Lesson 3, Story Time, The Giving Tree. By the end of the session, you will be able to discuss the moral of a story, identify the sequence of events and the end of in a story, recognize and repeat consonants cluster in common words. Now, let's start our lesson today. And now I'd like you to look at the picture and answer this question. What can you see in the picture? Look at the picture for 1 second, 2 seconds, 3, 4, 5. Yes, the picture is full of trees. The trees are fruit trees like apples and citrus, like these ones. Also, we can see vegetable trees like carrots, lettuce, and tomatoes. And sure, these trees are in gardens and in farms. Now, how do you think trees help people? Do you think trees are important for people, for us? What do you think? Yes, trees are superheroes. Why do we call them superheroes? Look at the picture. Here, they offer food. Here, they offer shade. Here, young boys and girls can play under the trees. So, the trees are like our superheroes for people and for plants because first, they give us the air we breathe. They give us clean air. Trees, our oxygen factory. Second, they give us food and drink from our supermarket, like the previous one photos. Can you remember the one with fruits, the one with vegetables? Also, they provide homes and shelter for some animals, and some animals live inside the trees or under the trees. So they are our animal hotels. Also, trees keep us cool. They work as natural air conditioners. So can you see that they are our superheroes? They give us a lot of benefits. Now we're still with trees. I'd like you now to look at these trees. What can you see here? We can see tree, we can see a girl, we can see boys and girls, we can see a boy on a ladder. Now let us look at the photo. Here is that this is the trunk of the tree. The trunk of the tree is the main body, is the thickest part of the tree. And also, this trunk or this tree has a crown, which are the leaves. This is the crown of the trees. And the trees, when to grow up, you can see different branches, like this one, this one, this one, this one. And because this tree is very big and strong, with a strong trunk and big crown and many branches, they give us shade, shade which helps us to protect from the sun. Sit under the shade, like this girl. This girl is sitting in the shade under the branches of the tree. He is caring for a small plant. She is helping it grow. He is caring for it. But this girl is kind. But not all the boys here are also kind. There is another boy on the ladder who is very kind because he picks the fruit. But there's two boys and this girl are not kind like this girl and this boy. They are selfish. They gather all the trees for themselves. They are selfish. They don't give any fruits from the trees. So we can see the trunk of the tree, which is very strong. The trunk is the central column. It is here in the center. It supports and protects the rest of the tree. This is the trunk. Also, we can see the branches of the trees. These are the branches. These branches extend from the trunk, carrying leaves or fruits. Like here, this is the branch. They come here from the trunk. They have fruits. They have leaves. Also, we saw the crown of the tree, which is at the top. It's the top section. Here is the crown. It's very thick, very dense. It has a lot of branches and a lot of leaves. So, because the crown is thick and the branches are many, can sit under the shade to protect from the sun. Also, the girl, don't forget it here, the girl who is caring for the tree and giving it water. She is watering it. But the boys who are selfish, they are taking all the fruits for themselves only. They left nothing else for others. That's why they are selfish. Now, let's do some exercise or an activity with the superhero tree. Look, here we can find three parts of the tree and an action or a job. And we are going, or we can see also how these heroes help us and what is their superpower. So we have a crown, which is a hero, branch, another hero, trunk, another hero, and they are all caring for. We have each of one of these have a power or a superpower. One of these gives us clean air, another one gives us shade, another one gives us food, another one make it stronger and protect us. Now, what are we going to do? We are going to match the heroes to their superpower. You can take just 2 minutes to think. Yes. Look to see if your thinking or your guessing was right. Here is the crown, which gives us shade. It's the sun shield, the sun cover. And here is the hero branch, which gives us food and works as a supermarket. Here is the trunk hero, who protects us from, gives us the tree its foundation. And all of this, the branches give us clean air like oxygen. These are the superhero tree with its heroes, and these are the superpower. Now we are watching some photos, and now I like you to look at these two photos and tell us what is the difference. Here is a photo, and here is another photo. Look, they are different. They are different, and you are going to tell us how they are different. And also, you are going to answer these questions. Do you have someone that cares about you? Who is this one? Another question. Do you have someone who helps you? Who is this person? And if you have someone that cares about you and another one who helps you, how do you yourself care about them, about people who help us and they care about us? Think about the picture and how they are different. This is the first one. It's full of apples. It has strong trunk. It's in a green area. It has fruits. So this tree is powerful, is strong. That's why there is someone cares about this tree. This person gives it water, protects its paper, and so on. But the other photo is not the same. It's dry. It has dry leaves. Look, it's thin. Here is a green area. Here is a dry area. Here are green leaves. Here are dark and dry leaves. So if you have someone who cares about you, yes, sure, we all have people who cares about us. We have our fathers, our mothers, our friends, our sisters, and the brothers. All of these people care about us. Do we have someone who helps us? Yes. Our friends helps us. Our teachers helps us. So what do we do? What should we do for them? How can we help them? We can ask about them, help them with their jobs, listen to them, ask about them, and so on. Now, as we said in the beginning, or at the beginning of our lesson, we have a story about a tree. We are going to read this story, and it's about a boy called Tom. We are going to read the story and find out if Tom was right or was wrong. Let's start reading the story. Once upon a time, there was a boy named Tom who loved a big, strong apple tree in his garden. Tom used the tree for everything. He made crowns from its leaves and ate its delicious apples. He rested in its shade and climbed its trunk with his friends. But Tom never thought about the tree's feelings or needs. He rarely gave it food or water. Tom traveled to another place. Years passed, and Tom came back home. The tree looked sad, its leaves bent, its branches were weak. When Tom saw the trees, he realized that he had been selfish. Tom started to care for the tree, watering it, protecting it from the sun. Slowly, the tree began to become better. Tom learned that taking care of something meant giving back, and he and the tree became the best friends. This was Tom's story with the tree. Now, do you think Tom was right or wrong? At the beginning, Tom didn't care about the tree, didn't water it, didn't care about it. He used everything in the tree, the trunk, the crowns, the leaves, the fruits, but he didn't think what the tree needs. So he was wrong. But when he returned back and found the tree very dry, like the one in the photo here, he thought for himself and thought that he was very wrong and selfish because he didn't think about the tree. He didn't give it water. He didn't care about it. So he decided to change himself. And when he changed himself and started to look at the tree and care for it, he was right. يبقى Tom was wrong at the beginning because he didn't care about the tree, but when he cared about it, he became right. Through the story, Tom had a problem, and when he found that he had a problem, he thought of a solution. And then when he thought of a solution, there was a result. Can you remember what was Tom's problem and how did he solve it and what was the result? Tom's problem was that he took from the tree, but he didn't give it here. When he thought for himself and found a solution, the solution was that he should help the tree to grow again. And when he thought of the solution and did it, he found the result was that the tree became healthy. He learned to care for it, and because he wanted it to care for him. So if you have a problem, you need to stop, think about the problem, find a solution, and then you will like all the results. If you like Tom's story with the tree, now you are going to read another story, but this time is about an apple, which was a fruit from the tree. But the story isn't in order. It's jumbled. It's not in the correct order. And what are we going to do? We are going to read the paragraphs, the 5 paragraphs of the story, and then we are going to put them in order, to think first what happened, then after that, next, until we reach the end of the story. Also, we need to find out the moral of the story. What is the lesson? What did we learn from the story? Now, let's start looking at the paragraphs of the story. Paragraph number 8. Leo knew what to do. He went back inside and got a small glass of water. He poured it carefully around the bottom of the little tree to be sure the dirt was nice and wet. He whispered, "Don't worry, I'll take care of you until you are big and strong." This is the first paragraph here, but not in the story. Paragraph P. He ran across the grass and stopped next to the thick trunk of the large apple tree. He saw the ripe red fruit hanging from a low branch. It was the biggest apple he had ever seen. He climbed the ladder, took the apple, and raced back to his room to eat the whole thing himself. This is paragraph B. We still have 3 more paragraphs. One sunny morning, a boy named Leo looked out of his window. He saw a small tree that was planted by his father. Leo found the little tree, looked dry and sad, and felt lonely. Later that day, Leo looked at his neighbor who was harvesting his own large fruit tree. The neighbor was giving away his extra apples to the people walking by. Leo suddenly felt he was wrong. He thought, I was too selfish. I took the best apple without sharing or even thinking of the tree. When the sun got too hot, Leo sat outside to read a book. He enjoyed the cool shade cast by the mighty tree's large leafy crown. He looked up and realized his very tree was the one that had provided the apple he took that morning, and it was the same type of tree as the little one he was trying to save. These were the 5 paragraphs of the story, and sure, while you were reading it, you thought of the order. So, what was the order? Look to see if your thinking was right. The first one is is paragraph C, which talked about Leo and the set tree. Let's go back to it. This one. One sunny morning, a boy named Leo looked out of his window. He saw a small tree that was planted by his father. Leo found the little tree looked dry and sad and felt lonely. The second one is the first paragraph. in which Leo decided to water and care for the little tree. Let's go back and read it. Leo knew what to do. He went back inside and got a small glass of water. He poured it carefully around the bottom of the tree to be sure the dirt was nice. He whispered, "Don't worry, I'll take care of you until you are big and strong." Then number E, which is the last one. This is one. When the sun got too hot, Leo sat outside to read a book. He enjoyed the cool shade cast by mighty tree's large leafy crown. He looked up and realized this very tree was the one that he had provided. And Leo felt guilty and reflected on himself. This one, when he looked at his neighbor who was harvesting the large fruit tree and was giving away the extra apples, he thought that he was selfish. Now, what did we learn from the story? We learned from the story, the missing apple, that we should be kind, we should share what we have with others, we should always be thankful for what God gives us, and we need to protect our sources, to protect our trees, to protect the Nile River, to protect the land, to protect everything around us. As Tom had a problem and thought of a solution, and then the result was very good, sure, this story had the same. Can you think of the problem, the solution, and the result with Leo? Leo's problem was that he was selfish. He didn't think about the tree or about others. He thought that he should care about others and started to do so. And the result was he had good relation with his family and his sister. After we read two stories, Tom's story and Leo's story, now let's talk about the English alphabet. Sure, the English alphabet is 26 letters from A, B, C, D until you reach it. The English alphabet has consonants and has vowels. Look, these are the vowels and consonants of the English alphabet. The English alphabet has 5 vowels, which is A, E, I, O, U, and the rest of the 26 are B, C, D, F, G, H, and so on. What should we do with the consonants and the vowels? We found some words have more than one consonant after the other. When a word have a cluster of consonants, that means there are 2 or more consonant sounds without vowels after each other, like STR, BL, STR in strong, BL in black, and these appear at the beginning or the middle or the end. We say that these words have consonant cluster. That means words are found consists of some letters. When we found 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, or 1, 2 sounds, consonant sounds come together, we say that we have consonant clusters. Look at these photos, and after you look at these photos, you need to choose which word. Is it a plant or is it a plant? Is it a tuck or is it a trunk? Is it a drink or is it an ink? Is it black or is it a bag? Is it a bee or is it a tree? Is it these cups or are these cups? Think and find out these 6 words. You are going to circle the correct word. Yes. The first photo is for a plant. It has leaves. The second one is for truck. A truck which is a big car carrying things. Here is a drink. It's a glass of water, not an ink which you write with in a pen. And this pen and this one has a black color. It's not the bag. And this is not a bee, which give us honey, but it's a tree. And these are not cups in which we drink, but they are crops. They are wheat. Look again at the 6 words and try to find if there is any consonant clusters in these words or not. Remember, consonant clusters are 2 or more consonant sounds that come together at the beginning of the word, or in the middle of the word, or at the end of the word. These are the words. Yes. Every word of the 6 words has consonant cluster. Look at the first word, lam. We can find sound and l sound. L, l, f, l. Here, the word truck. We have t, r. Here, drink. D, r. Black. B, l. Tree. T, r. Crop. K, r. These, all of them come at the beginning or in the middle or at the end. Yes. These words, the consonant cluster, come at the beginning of the word. Now, we are going to do some practice with consonant cluster. What does this mean? This means that we are going to read the text, the 2 paragraphs, and we are going to look at each word and find out if there are any consonant clusters in this word. Remember, consonant cluster are 2 or more consonant sounds, not letters, that come at the beginning or in the middle or at the end of the word. Let's first look at the first paragraph about Stella. Stella, the cat, was a very terrible one. She loved to play, but she was struggling to be graceful. She would slip and slide across the smooth kitchen floor, often crashing into the strong wooden shelves. Her owner, Mrs. Green, would wave and give her a fresh bowl of cream. Look again at the lines and at the words, and let's see if there are any consonant clusters. Stella is the name. Stella, the cat, was very terrible, loved to play, but she was struggling to be graceful. So we can see that Stella, here is the consonant cluster at the beginning. Terrible. PL at the end. Play. PL at the in the beginning. Struggling. Stre at the beginning. Graceful. Graceful. She would slip, and slide, across, cross, smooth, mm, kitchen, floor, crashing, the strong, struggle, the strong again, wooden shelves. Her owner, Mrs. Green, would wave and give her fresh, fresh bowl of tea. So we can have here constant cluster, another one, another constant cluster, graceful, slap, slide, smooth. Now I'd like you to think, can we say that here smooth th is constant cluster or is not a constant cluster? The word smooth and the letter t and h are not a constant cluster because they have just one sound, not two sounds. This was the first paragraph. Let's look again at the second paragraph. One day, Stella was trying to climb the great big tree in the garden. She wanted to reach the very top branch where a small bluebird was singing a sweet song. She stretched her paws and took a huge leap, but her back foot got stuck on the rough bark of the trunk. She dropped for a short time, looking very silly. Stella, trying, climb, great tree, garden, one branch, blue, singing, stretched, tuck, trunk, dropped. Now look to see if your guessing was right or wrong. Yes, we have the word constant cluster, play, بهلة, struggle, graceful, slip, slide, smooth, strong, crashing, fresh, cream, trying, climb, great, tree, branch, small, stretch, stuck. The words, the letters in red are the consonant cluster. Now, at the end of our lesson today, let's remember together what we have learned in this session. First, we learned words about the three parts. Can you remember them? Yes, trunk, branch, crown. We also learned the word careful. We read stories and understood the moral. Can you remember the stories? The first story was about Tom who took the apples from at the tree without giving her water or caring about her. And we learned that the moral of the story was that we should care about others. The second story was about Leo, and Leo was a selfish boy, and when he saw his neighbor how he was dealing with others, he learned that he shouldn't be selfish anymore. We also put the story about Leo in the order, and also we learned about the constant clusters and how to get them in the text. This was the end of our lesson today. I hope you enjoyed it. Looking forward to meeting you again with another lesson about flyers and recipes. Remember to come with your best kind of food. Looking forward to meeting you again. Goodbye.